Thank you, Council, for being here. Appreciate you guys. And appreciate you guys being our mouthpiece and speaking to the ears that need to hear it. The community has been amazing through this. The people who stepped up and made the hubs first was the community. The people who were in there putting out the fire was the community, right? The people who are going to rebuild needs to be the community. Okay? Got some notes. I run a small tree service on the west side. I've been doing it for 15 years. A lot of these trees that burned, I've been servicing for 15 years. We put our pride and our dignity into our work. And everybody in here does the same thing with their industry. Yeah? Everybody puts their pride and their dignity. And it hurts me to see these federal government agencies come in and hire out contractors from the East Coast. That's not acceptable. My personal experience, I got to meet the EPA arborists. 2 guys from Wisconsin. That's not right. All these people here, we could build Lahaina with these people. We don't need these government contracts going to outside sources. Okay? Another thing, we need that dignity. My boys, they need the dignity to go out there and work through their pain, their loss, their suffering, to rebuild their town, to rebuild our town, to share our dignity with the rest of the community. So please be our mouthpiece. I just want to mention, I want to do a shout out to CNHA, the Council of Native Hawaiian Achievement. They've been great. They've been putting on classes. We went through some OSHA classes. They're doing HAZWOPER classes. So shout out to those guys. Another thing I'd like them to do, and maybe you guys could bring attention to it, is I know that I've fought fires with some people in the back in 2018. I was out there with the people fighting the fires. Where's the volunteer firefighters? How many? Everybody. Everybody. Where is the training class for that? Yeah, because the community is the first people to step in and save the day. So we want that. Also want to mention FEMA operates under the Stafford Act, Section 307. Real quick, I want to just read that. Stafford Act, Section 307. Preference shall be given to the extent feasible and practicable to those organizations, firms, and individuals residing or doing business primarily in the area affected by such major disaster or emergency. There's no
3 minutes.
There's no contractors that should be from outside the state. Just much respect, love, and thank you.
1 second, sir. Member Palmer has a question for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here.
Okay, you want this?
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for being here. So my question is, you had mentioned in your testimony that you had Aloha CNHA for their hazmat training, and then you mentioned, and you asked where the volunteer firefighters were. We were asking if maybe our help in seeing if CNHA would be able to maybe conduct that kind of a training too?
Yeah, whoever, I don't know who stands that up, but
Okay.
if you stand it up, I bet everybody in here would volunteer to go and take that class.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you very much. Member Paulton?
Thank you. We were told in committee the other day that the assessment and monitoring contract would go to a local Hawaiian-owned business, and that was the contract that would assess the trees. And I just was wondering if you guys were aware of that. I guess, is it request for qualifications or request for proposal? That they're giving out a contract to assess all the trees, and if they're in a hazard to fall down or not last 5 years, they would be removed by that contract. I was just wondering if you had heard of that one.
I'm aware of that. The problem with that is it took us a week of my wife and I and an office manager to figure out how to get registered with FEMA. Like, we're all going through so much right now to try and navigate the bureaucracy of how to get in the back door to get a contract is too much time. So we need somebody up there vetting these contractors and their subs, because they've hired the main contractor, EQM or World Solutions, to do the assessment, and then they sub out to whoever. Who's vetting them? I mean, if you guys can't find somebody to do that, then we'll set up our stations in front of the National Guard and we'll check IDs. You're from the East Coast? Go back to the East Coast. You don't have a contract here.
They had told us that no contract has been selected yet. So my understanding is they haven't selected the contract, but that they were going to select it locally.
I'm aware of that one and working on it. The one that is egregious to me is the EPA coming in immediately and meeting their 2 arborists from Wisconsin. There's over 20 arborists on Maui. There's over 100 in the state. I mean, I have all the qualifications needed to do that work. And it's not just me in the tree industry, it's everybody's industry, right? Everybody, the divers out there doing rescue operations. How many skin divers out here could go and do the rescue operations and the search work, right? Like, the community can do it. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.